Something is happening with AI that nobody wants to talk about.
You've been working on AI safety for 2 decades at least.
Yeah. I was convinced we can make safe AI, but the more I looked at it, the more I realized it's not something we can actually do.
You have made a series of predictions about a variety of different dates. So what is your prediction for 2027?
In 2 years, the capability to replace most humans in most occupations will come very quickly. I mean, in 5 years, we're looking at a world where we have levels of unemployment we never seen before. Not talking about 10%, but 99%.
But what do you make of people like Sam Altman's journey with AI?
So a decade ago, we published guardrails for how to do AI right. They violated every single one.
I've been debating on whether or not I should even make this video because I'm honestly still trying to process all of this myself. But I can't hold on to it anymore, so here it goes. I recently walked away from everything that I built, and there were a lot of people around me who thought I was losing it. I was losing sleep, I had constant headaches, and I was fighting a gut-wrenching feeling until I couldn't anymore. And I was thinking maybe it's just me being overwhelmed with trying to keep up with 100 AI tools dropping every week. Or maybe it's the constant algorithm changes on social media. And then there's the message playing in your head on repeat.
If you are not using AI tools every day of your life, you're making a huge mistake.
It was a never-ending cycle, and I started to experience mental and physical problems because of it. So at that point, I decided to take a hard pause, and when I did, I started looking into the tools I was using, the ones I was teaching other people to trust, and what I found, I shut everything down. I'm Tisha, former brand designer turned AI ethics advocate, and I'm here to say what these companies hope you never hear. So let me back this up for a second, because from the outside, I'm sure everything looked fine. Everything I literally prayed for and worked hard for was happening before my eyes. And in this economy, that's supposed to be a dream, right? But behind the scenes, I was barely holding it together. I was working a full-time job. Some nights I would work until 2 a.m. or later, and then I would be useless for days. And I kept telling myself, just push through. You can rest when you make it. So I kept going. But my body and heart were trying to tell me something, and I didn't listen until things took an odd turn. And this is just the first layer because things get even crazier from here. So I was getting ready to promote these AI image tools, and then one day I decided to test these out on my own photos, and it got creative in the most offensive way. And I'll just leave this here.
Just imagine, you look like this, but instead of seeing you as the beautiful person that you are, AI thinks you're this. That is shocking, insulting, and like Facebook put it, an unacceptable error.
So I thought, okay, maybe I'm overthinking it, but then I tested it again, and it did the same thing. And again, and it did the same exact thing. So I looked it up, and it wasn't just me seeing this. The same issues were happening with Google and Facebook users. There are lawsuits and studies that are all showing the same thing. These AI tools, they perform differently based on skin tones, body types, or whether or not people even have disabilities. And then I started seeing more and more what was happening to people in other industries, like artists. These tools were trained by scraping billions of images off the internet without consent or obviously compensation. There's a reason you can type an artist's name into these tools and get their exact style back. This is years of work fed into a system that now competes against them. Now imagine working your entire life building something that changed your life or your family's life, and now you have to compete with a machine that learned from your work. And to make matters worse, you're fed the same narrative that even as an artist, if you don't adapt, you're going to get left behind. It's literally drilled into your brain until you believe it. And that's straight theft. So where does that leave photographers, true artists, or anyone for that matter who doesn't have an AI safe career? The ones that are benefiting are the same people that are signing billion-dollar government contracts while entire industries lose their livelihoods. And I'm not here to argue with anyone. But as a Christian, I feel like there's a line that should be drawn when it comes to profit versus morals. I'm not even here to bash anybody who uses AI because AI does have real benefits, but I have seen it go from bad to worse over the years. And until regulations are put in place, I don't see it getting better anytime soon. Most people who sign up to use these tools don't even know what they're participating in or consenting to. Now, a few things that I want to mention, because when you know better, you do better. And I feel like it's my duty to share this, especially with those who don't know. Now, when you typed a prompt, you're pulling from a database built on billions of scraped images, texts, and voices. Most of these are taken without permission, and free AI tools aren't really free because you're paying for them with your data. Most terms of service say they can use what you give them to train future models. People are finding manipulated images of themselves that they never consented to, or at least they think they haven't. And I've seen firsthand, even kids being exploited in the most disturbing ways. But people don't think about this when they're uploading their child's photo to make a coloring book in OpenAI because it's trending. And then they share it in a group of over 100,000 strangers. And when it comes to ethics, that's where I draw the line. So let me tell you what's also happening right now. Grok created millions of fake explicit images of women and children. Kids are forming relationships with AI chatbots, and some are even harming themselves because of it. There's zero age verification on most of these tools. Now, ChatGPT even just started running ads, and one of their researchers quit and wrote in the New York Times that they have access to more personal conversations than any company in history. And now they're trying to figure out how to cash in on it. If you've been using any AI tool and you've shared personal information, here's what you need to do now. Go into the settings of whatever tool you're using and look for privacy or data controls. Most of them have an option to turn off chat history or opt out of training. Then you need to delete your old conversations. And if they have a download my data or delete my data option, use it. And going forward, treat these tools like a stranger on the internet. Don't give them anything you wouldn't post publicly. Now let's go to Claude, Anthropic. Anthropic's head of safety research resigned and basically warned the world that it's in danger. And the Pentagon just gave Anthropic CEO an ultimatum. Remove your safety guardrails or you're going to lose your contract. They want to use AI for mass domestic surveillance and autonomous weapons. And because Anthropic is trying to stand their ground, they're being threatened. And on the other hand, you have companies like OpenAI and Elon Musk xAI who are handing over their keys with zero restrictions. Artists are having their work scraped without consent. Musicians are having their voices cloned. Authors are finding AI-generated books on Amazon under their names, and the list goes on and on. It gets worse and worse. Communities near data centers are dealing with rising utility costs and health concerns, while these companies consume massive amounts of water and energy. The people building these tools are terrified. How do I know? Because their safety researchers are leaving left and right. This is bigger than me. And that's why I walked away from everything I built to pursue the ethical side of this. It's systematic and that's obvious. And it's only getting worse by the day. So after I stepped away, I just sat with it for a while and I started seeing how fast things were changing. People are losing their jobs out of nowhere every day. Mass layoffs. Companies are replacing teams and everyone online is selling a course to teach you how to sell a course. And now there's a huge wave of people that have migrated over to the AI side of things doing this.
I created an online course with AI in just 2 days. And here's how you can too.
But if everyone's losing their income, then who's buying? People are looking for the cheapest option or the fastest shortcut. But this is affecting real lives, okay? These are affecting real families. And these companies, they plan to come for us all eventually. If you've made it this far, thank you, truly. Your support means the world, and it's going to help me rebuild what I walked away from. This channel is just the start of my new journey, and I want to make sure that you know what you're participating in so you can make informed decisions. I'm Tisha, this is Her Ethical Lens, and if this resonated with you, please share it with someone that you know needs to hear it. And subscribe if you want to stay in the loop on what's really happening. I'll see y'all soon.